what just hit the press. Freedom of speech is out.
We've made it 1 year penalty for inciting riots. We took the freedom of speech away because that's been through the courts, and the court said you have freedom of speech. But what has happened is when they burn a flag, it agitates and irritates crowds. I've never seen anything like it on both.
Hi lovelies, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Belinda Strana. Thank you so much for all the love and support. To my returning subscribers, to those people that share my videos, leave commentaries, and also educate each and every one of us, you guys are the real MVP. So lovelies, I came across this video on my For You, and I thought to share with Americans are reaction to the fact that Orange Man has admitted that within 1 day of him being of the United States, he has succeeded in taking the freedom of speech of its citizen. The only fundamental right of a citizen has been taken away, and he actually admitted it on live TV, and everyone is just cheering about it. Lovelies, I'm just going to roll it. Please give me your own thought and let's dive into it.
We've made it 1 year penalty for inciting riots. We took the freedom of speech away because that's been through the courts, and the court said you have freedom of speech. But what has happened is when they burn a flag, it agitates and irritates crowds. I've never seen anything like it on both sides, and you end up with riots. So we're going on that basis. We're looking at it not from the freedom of speech, which I always felt strongly about, but never passed the courts. This is what they do, is they incite. When you burn an American flag, you incite tremendous violence. We have many examples of it, many examples of it, and it's actually down on tape, and you see things happen that just don't happen unless it's the flag that's burning.
The president just admitted to taking away freedom of speech. Are you guys hearing this?
We took the freedom of speech away because that's been through.
He said that in public.
You cannot be for real.
The president of America just said that in public. No, it's not AI. No, it's not fake. This is literally our reality right now. Oh, goodness. We're actually cooked. This actually cannot be real right now. Yeah, I do not want to be here for the future of America. Mind you guys, the government is still shut down. It's been 9 days. 9 days. And here's the best part. They still have not come to an agreement to reopen it as of now. How do you take away the First Amendment rights? How does that make sense? It is still 2025. 2025. October, you have officially surpassed September. You won. It's only 9 days in. You won. October is actually trying to outdo September. If having our freedom of speech being taken away or limited is just the start, I cannot imagine how next year is going to look like. I really cannot. You guys, this is genuinely terrifying. It is actually something new every single day. I have officially lost all hope. We're done. We're done. Let's just hope that we make it to the end of October. If we can make it to Halloween, that's good. Because at this point, I don't know what direction we're turning, but we're going backwards.
The freedom of speech away.
Good afternoon. Thank you for calling Congressman Baird's office. This is Sarah. How can I help you today?
Hi, Sarah. I'm calling because the President of the United States got on stage this week, and in reference to one of his fake laws that he thinks he can pass, even though he doesn't have that legal right, he said, quote, "We took freedom of speech away." The President of the United States just got on TV and said, "We took freedom of speech away." And I'm not sure if the representative knows, but he signed an oath, or swore an oath, that says he will defend the Constitution against enemies, foreign and domestic. And in case he's really confused, freedom of speech is in the Constitution. So I'm wondering if he's going to do something or if he is going to commit treason. The President of the United States of America just said, direct quote, "We took freedom of speech away." And he's not going to do his job and stand up to him?
Ma'am, we don't tolerate that language.
I don't tolerate fascists, you traitor. I speak like this to fascists. You're an enemy of the state. You're an enemy of the Constitution. Shame on you for betraying your country. You're an embarrassment. Your children are going to change their names so they don't have to be associated with you.
I do not have children, but...
You will. You will. You're going to go down in history, girl. This isn't going away. This isn't going away. an entire party committing treason is not going away. The president of the United States that you're working for his regime, said, we took... No, but you work for somebody who's choosing the president over the Constitution, which is treason. You are directly in support of somebody who is committing treason. The president just said, we took freedom of speech away. You can rationalize in your head how you're not wrapped up in this, but to be clear, even the secretaries went to prison after World War II. Don't think you're going to get out of this scot-free. You're working for a fascist regime who just said on TV, we took freedom of speech away. What's wrong with you? When are you going to wake up? Please get out of there and stop betraying your country. This is shameful. Your internship is not worth betraying your country.
I'm not an intern, but okay.
I'm glad that's the part you're worried about and not the treason. I hope you go to prison. Have a terrible day. We'll never, ever, ever get over the fact that they are more concerned, legitimately, every single time their response is, I'm not an intern and I'm not a fascist. Traitors.
We took the freedom of speech away.
Donald Trump literally said, we took the freedom of speech away. No joke. This whole administration has just been filled with hypocrisy, flip-flopping back and forth. The Conservative Party is no longer recognizable anymore. You can't tell me this is the Conservative Party that we saw several years ago, where they were talking about small government, hands-off economic style, less foreign engagement. It has literally been the opposite of all that. The foundational principles of conservatism is gone. They're not following any of that. The government literally owns has a stake in companies. They own 10% of Intel. This is crazy. The level of hypocrisy is crazy. And at this point, I'm actually, I hate to fearmonger. I really do hate to fearmonger. But at this point, it is getting kind of dicey here. What do you mean we took away the freedom of speech? How do you casually just say that? What are we doing here, guys? If you are agreeing with this, if you're one of the guys that are saying oh yeah, if you're one of the guys that are agreeing with this and you in the past are talking about freedom of speech is so important, you are a hypocrite. This is literally just going after political opponents. This isn't free speech. This is literally the reason why we have free speech, is so that people can express counterpoints to political ideas and political stances. That's the whole point. He's going after people protesting him.
We took the freedom of speech away because that's been through the courts, and the court said you have freedom of speech. But what has happened is when they burn a flag, it agitates and irritates crowds. I've never seen anything like
this happened today. And I never thought that I would live to see the day where Republicans, the party that claimed to be free speech absolutists, would elect a man to represent their party who sits up there on stage in states bragging, we literally took away your free speech. We took your free speech away. I didn't think I would hear those words come out of a Republican's mouth. It wasn't even just 2 years ago where you guys were crying all over the internet, calling yourself free speech absolutists because you felt like y'all were being censored. And here you are praising your president for literally stating the words, we took your free speech away, bragging about this on stage. Republicans died years ago. This isn't Republicans. This is not old school Republicans. MAGA, not the same. These are two separate groups of people. My name is Mercedes Chandler. Give me a follow or you won't see my face again. Thank you. Goodbye.
Donald Trump said in a press conference that he took the freedom of speech away. Listen, I don't know if he knew what he said. I don't know if he said it as a joke, and I don't know if he said it in a context of something else. It doesn't matter. Because if I was a reporter in that room, the way I would have stopped him and been like, can you clarify what you mean? Because how the fuck did you take an amendment away? And if I was his people, the Donald Trump people do not look out for him at all. They're just like, boy, we gonna cover up for you, but we gonna let you make the mess first when y'all can just stop him from making the damn mess. Anyway, if I was one of his people and he said, we took the freedom of speech away, I would have been like, hold up. He did not mean that. What he meant was this, and no one interrupted, no one asked for clarification. The freedom of speech is not a joke. And if he tries to take the freedom of speech away, he will be in that White House till he dies. Because he knows what he is doing. Listen, I'm just saying, I need clarification on what he meant. Don't make those fucking claims, Donald Trump, that you took the freedom of speech away. I don't like that, man.
I'm trying really hard not to overreact here, but I just watched a video where Donald Trump literally said, we took freedom of speech away. So I have Republican and Democrat friends. My ex-husband is a Republican and we're still friends. I work really hard to respect our different viewpoints and find common ground even when that is difficult. But this is completely different, and I don't care how you interpret it or spin it. He said what he said. We took freedom of speech away. Those were his words, not taken out of context, not misquoted. He said it. And I think this is one of those moments where we need Republicans to get mad too, because freedom of speech, it's not a partisan issue. It's an American value. It's literally the First Amendment. So if you're a Republican and you're watching this and you believe in the Constitution, in free speech, in basically what this country was built on, then we need you to speak up right now, because this shouldn't be a left versus right thing. This should be all of us saying this isn't okay.
We can never forget about this clip. Stephen Miller freezes and stops talking until the CNN host has to cut away after saying Trump has plenary authority, meaning unlimited and absolute power. You can clearly tell that he was not supposed to say that, and the truth accidentally slipped out. Watch this.
I would note the administration won an identical case in the Ninth Circuit just a few months ago with respect to the federalizing of the California National Guard. Under Title 10 of the U.S. Code, the president has plenary authority. Stephen?
Plenary authority is a huge phrase. As I mentioned earlier, it means complete, total, unchecked power. For Stephen Miller to say that on TV and go quiet is a major red flag. When your chief of staff uses language that dismisses limits on power, democracy gets very nervous. And the fact that he stops speaking, just freezes entirely after saying that, is even more telling. He doesn't expand, he doesn't clarify, he just stops talking until the CNN host eventually has to cut away, assuming there's technical difficulties. It's obvious he realized he said something that he should not have said and did not want to be pressed about it. Remember, public servants are supposed to respect constitutional limits and the separation of powers. But Stephen Miller just said that Trump has unlimited, unchecked power and can do whatever he wants to because the law doesn't apply to him. This administration is the embodiment of every single thing this country was built to escape from. You cannot be pro-America and pro-Trump at the same time. It just doesn't work.
We all noticed since Trump's been back in the White House how there's already been 8 national emergencies declared. 8 in less than a year. And each one gives him more power, less oversight, and a little less democracy for the rest of us. You see, it all comes down to something called plenary authority. Plenary means complete, full, absolute. So when the government claims plenary authority, what they're really saying is, we don't need permission. Not from Congress, not from the courts, not from you. Congress hands this power out a lot more often than you might think. Okay, think about immigration, tribal affairs, territories. Once that precedent exists, it spreads. Okay, Homeland Security says that they have it, ICE says that they have it, FEMA says that they have it, and now, under emergency powers, the president says he has it too, which means we lose oversight, they gain control. And the courts won't touch this. The Supreme Court calls plenary authority a political question, which basically means that it's not their problem. And that's how entire communities have lost their rights in the past. Okay? Native American tribes were stripped of their lands. Japanese Americans put in internment camps during World War II. All of this under plenary authority. Every time a new emergency gets declared, more powers flip on behind the scenes. Surveillance, border crackdowns, asset seizures, detentions, and many of those powers never turn off. They just stay there waiting for the next guy to use them. So when somebody says, I'm just exercising my plenary authority, what they're really saying is, I'm doing something nobody can stop, and I dare you to try. This is how democracy disappears. Not all at once, not with a bang, but with a press release and a signature, one emergency at a time. Look out for yourselves. Look out for a neighbor. Look out for a stranger. Y'all keep doing good.
Raise your hand if you didn't know what plenary authority meant until that ghoul Stephen Miller mentioned it on CNN. And then he subsequently froze up after mentioning it because he was mentioning something that he knew he probably shouldn't have been mentioning, that they are actively discussing behind closed doors. Plenary authority is power that is wide-ranging, broadly construed, and often limitless for all practical purposes. They want to grant Trump plenary authority. This is something that they are discussing behind closed doors. That is why Stephen Miller froze up at the instant mention of it. And I guarantee, I haven't done it, but I guarantee if you look at those Google search trends, you know, when a term gets really popular all of a sudden and everybody around the country is searching it up, around the world, this would be one of those things. You would see the graph going like this, just like that. That's how many people didn't know, including myself, didn't know what this term was, but it is something that they are actively discussing behind closed doors. And shame on CNN for posting an edited version of that interview on their YouTube channel that completely edited the part out where Steve Miller even mentioned this term. This is what they want. They want to grant Trump plenary authority.
Like, seriously, lovelies, it is so unfortunate that the only fundamental right of a citizen is being taken away in broad daylight. And the thing is that people are just still watching. People are applauding. People are like, oh, you know, all about it for you, talking about it, cheering, and people are getting upset. I see if you don't know that this was going to happen, you know? How can you just take away the only right that a citizen have, right? The only right. Not only did he even admit that they succeeded in taking away that on live TV, the other day, what is his name again? He decided to talk about plenary authority. That Orange Man or the administration has all of the authority to do anything that they want to do, to give any rules and regulation that they will feel like. They have all of the authority. And now, today, we are hearing of taking away all of the fundamental human rights. Like, this is the reason why ICE can just snatch anyone, harass anyone, you know, pew anyone, just like that. Because you don't have any right to complain. You don't have any right to yield. You don't have any right of speech. They will just get you, and that is it. This is the world we are living. This is the world that people who massively voted for this, exactly what people who actually voted for this want, right? This is exactly what they want. You don't have any right to express yourself. You don't have any form of freedom of speech. You don't even have any form of freedom of nothing. You are just living in a society where your existence is actually determined by someone else. You don't have right to even defend yourself. That is exactly what people voted for. And to even crown all of this up, the SVP actually told people that at the end of the day, something like this will happen. And it's happening. It's happening, lovelies. It's as if she was a prophetess. And not only her, black people, the warnings, they tried to tell you all. They tried to tell you that if you get this man,
in the office, your freedom of speech is at stake. If you get this man in the office, he's just going to rule everybody. But there are so many people who actually thought that they knew better, who actually thought that whatsoever thing that is happening with this present administration is not going to get them affected. They ignored it, They actually look at black people as, people that talk too much, the oppressed. They are probably angry. They are probably so scared because they don't want to be oppressed. And now, just look at where we are. Look at exactly where we are. The other dude will come and tell you about how their administration have the plenary authority to do whatsoever that they want. Then the daddy-o will come out and tell you that we are proudly taking away your freedom of speech. We want to take it. We have already done that. And people still think that he's not going to go further. I still so many videos about Purple Revolution, where some group of people decided that they were going to launch a particular revolution to actually tackle what is going on. I wish them well. I wish them success in their said revolution. But I just want to let them know that it's not going to be easy. It's going to be very tough because the said person is someone that is known to get whatsoever that he wants. It's not someone that is easily going to be defeated. It's not someone that is easily going to bow down. No. It is someone that have already prepared himself for a very long time for what he has today. So it's not actually going to be an easy thing. But I just hope that the Purple Revolution, which was introduced by some group of, pan-colored people, especially MAGA supporters, ex-MAGA supporters, I hope it's going to work for them. Because the way at which things are going, it's not going to be easy, lovelies. It's not going to be easy. But I hope and I believe and I wish that by the end of the day, things are going to be fine. And I hope that people who actually voted for this present administration already see what is going on. I hope they are very happy with their decision. I hope that they are so happy with whatsoever that is going on right about now. Imagine what is going on right now. So many people, tourists and what have you, are even boycotting to visit, to go to the States and all of that because nobody wants to go where they want to be oppressed. Citizens relocating, seeking for asylum outside the state. Is it a dream? Babylon falling. Oh God. Babylon that was supposed to be there for everyone, it's falling. Anyway, lovelies, want to just leave me your own thought in the comment section of what you think of this video. Please subscribe to this channel if you're yet to do that. Like, and I will see you, lovelies, when I upload the next one. Share, and I will see you, lovelies, when I upload the next one.